what I was thinking. And Devin was actually said that, I mean, pretty much act like Shanna's best friend. Because he went for bat on Mark D's podcast that day, talking about he was going to beat up people that's talking about her and talking about jumping on her. So you never met Devin?
Devin.
They say Devin does her hair. He allegedly did Naziah's hair.
You know what? I met Devin. So ever since we moved, well, when I met her and then we finally got our own place, I want to say like last year, ever since Naziah came up missing, this is when I kind of met Devin. I kind of heard about him a little bit through the phone, through the twins talking on the phone, and how they be hanging out or whatever. I heard a little bit about him, but then I finally met him when they was like, sometimes they throw like little parties at the house, at my house. Sometimes I'll be there, and sometimes I don't even attend the parties. I'll be in the room, mind my own business, because I like, me and her get into it so much, I just be like, I'm kind of fed up with you where I don't want to deal with you, but I can't really kick you out, because we both own this house, you know. But I'm gonna mind my business because you irritate me. But yeah, I met him through like them coming over with Shannon.
So is Devin, is it Kenneth that may stay there? Because there's something about a 40-year-old autistic guy. Like, do you know that guy?
I've never met him. And it's crazy because I try to remember back. I might have heard his name, Evangelist, but I never heard the last part. I've heard of the Evangelist. I know she taught church and stuff sometimes here and there, and I've heard Evangelist in the past. I can't remember what days and what they were talking about exactly. But now that I know who Evangelist is, I'm like, dang, I think I heard them before talking about Evangelist, but I never met him.
So I'm pretty sure. I bet you it's the same guy. I do have a question, like, is Annette like, does she run stuff? Like, do she run the twins? Do they go against her at all, or what she say goes?
No, they don't go against her. It's to me, I would never want a grandma like this, but to me, she doesn't play no games. Like, she will cuss you out, and it is what it is. Like, the kids are not going against her. The twins not going against her. The other one's not going against her. That's which I understand, you know.
I guess what I meant, they don't buck up against her. It's like whatever she says, like they kids still with her. Is that the feel?
Right. That's how it is. Wow. That's how it is. And it's just weird because she will cuss you out.
Now, are all the kids gone from the house?
I'm hearing that all the kids is gone. I know Marquita kids is gone. And I want to say that Shan's kids are in foster care. I can't confirm it completely, but I've known, I haven't heard them have a conversation, because usually they have a conversation and you'll hear the kids in the background talking about, hey, Auntie Key or something like that. So I haven't heard that in a while, so I'm pretty sure that the kids are gone from out of her care.
So where's Marquita's kids at?
Right now, both of her kids are with the father of the daughter.
Oh, the father took both of her children, even the ones that's not here. Now, I do want to ask you about when you painted the house. I'm sorry, was you about to say something else?
No, go ahead. I was just about to jump off into another, but we get there. But yeah, about the painting the house, go ahead.
Okay, to paint the house, like you said, she didn't pay you a dime and you painted several rooms in the house. How did she even ask you to paint the house?
Now, I can't even remember how it came about, but I can kind of blame myself for that, because all my life I kind of been like that. I'm very artistic, however you want to say I don't even want to say artistic. But I'm very, very good with my hands. You know, I paint, I draw, I create things, make things, like create shoes, all that type of stuff. So when she saw that, I guess in her mind, and then she was also the type of woman, as a man, you're a man, so you should do man things. didn't really bother me because I have a kind heart. I didn't mind doing certain things, but I did tell her, and I told Marquita too, like, she do need to at least, pay me something. I ain't greedy. I ain't asking like for thousands or hundreds or nothing like that. But say if I do come over here and I'm doing this, she could give me something to eat or something, something to show your appreciation. But it was none of that. And I just, did it because I said God was gonna bless me. He gonna bless me one day. I ain't worried. So I did what I had to do. And then my mom felt like she needed the help. And she was trying to move. So in my mind, it kind of made sense. She trying to move. She wanted to leave the house looking better than what it's looking now.
Oh, so that's
here and there.
So that's the house that she moved from. That was next door to where Devin be at.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, I almost forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So the first house before they moved, the house next door to them. Nobody is talking about this. I don't know why. And I'm starting to put a lot of shit together. So Jarvis got a gun charge, right? And had to go in. I witnessed that situation. He got a gun charge because it's a slow person that lives next door to that house. And he's a pile in a way. He was talking to ZIYAH. And this is a whole different file from all the other files they just brought up. Like, he was talking to ZIYAH. So a situation happened where they was basically keeping ZIYAH from talking to him and him from talking to ZIYAH. And he was off or whatever. But it was a situation where he ended up messing or saying something inappropriate to one of Shannon's daughters, or the youngest daughter that she has. Said something to her, and it blew up where Jarvis found out, and then he came over that day, bringing my mans with a gun or whatever, all other kind of stuff. He was mad because the boy was trying to talk to his daughter, and at that time I didn't, know too much about Jarvis to even judge him. But now I think about it, I'm like, maybe you got me mad because somebody tried to touch your kids, and you either do it to your own kids or you do it. Like,
yeah, we don't know if
that's weird.
If he was mad about it being his kid or because he touched him and he wasn't touching him. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what I'm like
them his women. Wait a minute, though.
Right.
Hold on, because I did hear about how old is this guy you're talking about?
Oh man, he got to be like in his high 20s, maybe 30 something now, because that was a little while back. So he got to be in his 30s.
Do you know his name?
I probably could find out.
Yeah, we need his name. And it's
because
wait a minute.
Because he basically kind of got into a fight with Jarvis on that day, but Jarvis basically kind of like put the gun up. Then he was still trying to beat on him, but he told him to go in the house. So the dude went in the house, but Jarvis took his ass inside his house behind him.
What?
And then started whooping on him.
So,
yeah.
Whoa.
It started whooping on him. So I jumped out the car and went to, they was basically still like kind of in a front door. And I just grabbed him, because Jarvis skinny, I just grabbed him and pulled him off the porch and told him, you can't be doing shit like that. I can understand you mad, but you're not about to go in a house. Like, you told him to go in the house, like, I don't care who you is. If I see something wrong, I'm going to at least try to put my part in there. But yeah, I felt like he was being highly disrespectful when he went in the house. So I didn't even have to really go in the house to get him out, because that's how close they was to the front door. But you step past that threshold. No, you can't do that, bro. And you told him to go in the house, and he did it, and you still want to go in after him. So I yanked him on out of there. And by that time, the police came. He got his name around and he like low key disappeared on some slick shit. Like he got on that same block. He knows some people that live across the street from there, a little farther down towards the corner. He got like family members, either they family members or they just long time people that he know. But we all sitting there on the porch because they trying to figure out what's going on between these two houses and what happened or whatever. They tell him that he had a gun, so that's how he got the gun charge. So they tell him he got a gun, and this and that. They never, smoked the gun. Then they got distracted because one of his cousins or whoever lived on that block hopped on a bike, went around the corner, and shot a gun in the air, which made the police, scurry off and go see what the problem was. And then he left.
So, what? Oh my God, wait a minute though, that was a lot right there. And so where exactly is this house? How many houses or how far down from Annette? Is it the same block?
It's the same street. It's all right. So the first house that they was in, it's the same street as the new house, but they're on two different sides of the main street.
Okay.
I can't remember what's the name of that main street there.
Is it closer to the older house or the new house?
What, the main street?
No, the house that Jarvis went in where this other guy that was at.
No, that's that. So the house that he went in is the house that's next door to the old house.
Oh, is that the house? And that's not the house that Devin be at.
No. So the house that Devin be in, they live next door to the new house.
Okay. So house one had. Okay, so house number one had this guy living in that Jarvis jumped on and got the gun charge for. House number two, Devin lives next to, and the guy that do her hair.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he got his gun charge at that. So ZIYAH was connected with this, and so he was how did he even find out about this guy?
Unless he got another gun charge, that's the only charge I can think of that got him a gun charge, because they told the police that he had a gun. They never found it, but they told him.
Now, do you remember what month this was? Was it in the winter, summer? What was it?
I would say more summer. I can't tell you if it was like fall, summer, or spring.
But it wasn't no snow.
I know it was. Yeah. We didn't need pumps or anything outside, so yeah.
What year was this?
This had to be at least almost 3 years ago.
Oh, so it was a couple years before ZIYAH went missing.
Yup. No. All right. Yeah. You're right. It was like at least a year or a year and a half before ZIYAH came up missing.
Because I remember her brother telling a story where she allegedly had a boyfriend that stayed. He had a friend that allegedly had a brother that ZIYAH was dating. That's what Vari said. And I'm wondering if it got any connection, but
I don't know, because Vari hung out with a lot of little knuckleheads. That's just what I call him. Not saying that he was actually hanging with no goods, but
because he said my man's next door. He was like, my man's in them next door. So when I found out about Devin, I thought that's who he was talking about. But now you talking about another person that stayed next door. So I'm wondering.
See, I'm starting to think that he's really talking about Devin and them, because he didn't really mess with the people next door. That was the guy that had the flow. I didn't ever really see him over there. They didn't let people in their house anyway. They weren't friendly welcome over there. But at the other house, it's friendly welcome. We might say they got two houses next to each other, because that's pretty much, I guess, where Shan spent most of her time. That's why a lot of that stuff was starting to sound confusing. Oh, Shan don't live with me, but the kids. And
I see.
This is what it is. Shan lived in Clinton Township, but she barely is at her own house. she would go to her house sometimes, maybe on the weekends a little bit here and there, but you basically at your mama's house so much that you basically kind of live there because that's where you at. Like you would stay there and decide to get up and to take your kids to school by your house and then come back type stuff. You know, like you spent a lot of time at your mama's house even though you had your own place.
Wow.
So you were there basically, and then Marquita lived with her mama to a certain point in time. When her mama moved, we was basically in the same situation of moving. We both moved basically at the same time. Soon as her mama moved down the street, we was moving into our own place on the west side.
Wow. Okay. Now let me tell you.
That's why we try to. Go ahead.
I'm still stuck on this guy next door, and so I want to know, how did Jarvis find out about this guy? What made him go to the house that day? What happened? What led up to that?
So I remember we was in the backyard. I want to say we probably was barbecuing or something. I can't really remember, but we was in the backyard chilling, and then the little girl come to the back talking about, Mama, I can't remember the guy's name. Such and such said, can I come to his room or something like that? Inviting her into the house or something that sounded creepy.
When you say little girl, do you mean Naziah?
No, it wasn't Naziah. It wasn't Naziah.
Okay.
But Naziah, there's been word that they've been communicating with each other on the phone and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he's an older, slower guy, and then you got Naziah. So you kind of hear about that, but then when that situation happened, this is Shannon's daughter, not the oldest one that Jarvis was obviously messing with too. The youngest daughter.
Okay.
So she comes running in the backyard. She says what she says. Shan gets upset. She calls Jarvis, which makes Jarvis gets upset, and he pulls up within like an hour, maybe, and he just starts going off because the guy, he's on his porch sitting down still. You know, he's just chilling, at that time, he was minding his own business. And Jarvis just pulls up. We all in the backyard. You can see, like, him just start hollering at my man, this and that. And I'm the type of person, like, go ahead and be mad, but just don't put your hands on me. He is slow. I don't know him that much to even be like, I don't know how slow you are or if you deserve to get your hands, some hands on you. But at this point, he really don't, because nothing happened. He said what he said. The girl told on him, let's just talk about the problem instead of beating him up. Like, you don't have to beat the guy up. You can just figure out what happened. But it wasn't like that. He just pulled up, started hollering and chilling, whatever, this and that. And he had a gun in his hand. And I think Shannon told him, like, put the gun up or whatever, or he might have came to a sense to put the gun up. But then he came back and started cussing at him, saying more shit to him or whatever. And he like, take your stupid ass in the motherfucking house, some shit like that. And my man literally went in the house. And as soon as he, like, closed the door, he opened the door and went right in there and started hitting on him and stomping on him or whatever.
Wow.
And I just was like, hold up. And I just basically ran over there, yanked him. And I'm like, you can't be doing that, bro. Like, you're not about to run in the house and do shit. You told him to go out. Like, that don't make sense. Like, and he basically,
no, go ahead.
But he basically, like, stayed there, talked to Shannon about what was going on, and then, like, 30 minutes went by and the police pulled up. And it was like he was stuck. But he, like I said, he got people that lay down the street. And they did that little crazy shit by sending somebody around the corner and shoot the gun in the air. And it threw the police off. But it was too late. I guess they already got all the information they needed, his name, what happened, and shit like that.
So one of Shannon's daughters complained about the guy. But, so what part of it had to do with Naziah?
Now, the only part to me with that situation has something to do with Naziah is that's another part that she was literally doing something with. And they did nothing about it. They knew, I remember hearing something about a phone situation where they think that they was talking to each other. Yeah. So that right there is just another add-on.
Wait,
what are y'all doing? What's
hold
going on?
So they seen phone conversation between her and that guy?
Yeah, I remember one of them saying, like, I don't know exactly what was worded amongst the two, but they shouldn't have been texting each other because he's a grown man, she's a kid, and whatever they was texting to each other had to be something that was out of the way because they was upset about it.
So I wonder if she actually did he actually touch her though? Did it actually go down?
That's the part I don't know.
But let me tell you,
really.
What I'm thinking about is there was a conversation in the text messages between Jarvis and ZIYAH, and he was going off on her about somebody next door. He thought that she was, or down the street or something, that he was worried about, and she was saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't do anything," and I'm trying to figure out who this person is, and now you saying like they knew somebody next door, and it was people down the street. So it's kind of like Jarvis had that neighborhood sold up.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, because to tell you the truth, it could have been that, the guy next door, or it could have been that ZIYAH is a kid, and in all actuality, she probably was low-key still, attracted to boys her age. And that's something that he probably couldn't take either, knowing that, she's young, she could be easily attracted to something else, so he probably was like, trying to keep whoever away.
See, the other part that I remember hearing is that they moved because of the guy next door. That's why they moved down the street, to get away from him, allegedly.
Now that could be the reason, but that lady probably wanted to move because she low-key had roaches in that house.
What? In the first one?
I don't know if it was because of her or with the landlord, yeah, she had roaches in her house. That was a lot of the reasons why I was either painting or I remember going over there a couple times because they had to bomb the house to help get rid of some of the roaches.
What? So was she nasty, or was the house just infested?
The house didn't look nasty because the kids were always on a schedule of keeping it clean. Like they had to do their chores, or they were getting cussed out or something. The house was never really nasty, but after a while, you can be like, okay, you do got roaches. I can think it's starting to feel. It was like that.
They had roaches up in there. Is this the one they was doing the morning prayer in? What? I can't believe that. Oh, okay, so you think she... Wow.
That doesn't trip me out. It's like, I get that people are normal. Nobody's perfect, but how can you sit here and pray with these kids and then cuss at them like that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I grew up, me and my auntie would go to church, we get in the car, I might say some crazy old stuff, no cuss words or anything, but I'm a kid, I might say something, and she might be like, God damn it, just say something, a cuss word, and she gonna be like, see, you got me cussing, and then she gonna apologize to the Lord and all that kind of stuff, and be like, I just got to church, I can't be, not nothing out of that, like that with her. It's more just like, that's normal for her. Like, you give me the Bible, you use the Bible for your personal need.
Yeah. It's just a front. Sounds like to me. Now, a couple questions. Do you know who Marquita and Shannon's father is?
Never met him. I'm trying to figure that out. I asked him at one point, but the answer wasn't. It was like a beating around the bush type of thing. Like, do y'all know y'all dad? Like, I didn't want to get too into their business of making them feel uncomfortable. But it was just like, I remember asking them, like, who's your dad? But I think
seen
their dad was a pastor.
Right. That's what I was going to ask.
And if their dad is a pastor, I'm starting to think that it's that pastor.
Well, I seen a post where she said she commented under his post because he said something about missing his daughters. It might have been within a post, and if I see it, I'll screenshot it. But yeah, it appears that he is a married pastor, but I don't know. I just wondered if you knew anything about that. What about the? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've been to his church. Just around the same. Matter of fact, around the same time I got on Brittany Ann's live thing. So I was talking to her, and she wanted to be, a little nosy about what church they go to. So I was like, it's not too far from where I'm staying at now. I'll walk up there and go look. So Sunday I went, and it was only like 5 people in there. He was standing there. He was talking. Man, he was cussing up a storm.
He was cussing on up there on the pulpit.
Yeah. And I would have thought, I would have thought that being that he saw me as a stranger walk in to sit down and, get a little word in, I would have thought like he would switch it up a little bit. But no, he had like I was a part of the church and he was just cussing up a storm. I was just sitting there like,
wait a minute.
I'm not cool with this.
When you say cussing up a storm, like what did he say?
And I didn't want his double words to really fill my head with certain stuff. So I was listening, but I wasn't listening. But he was like talking. It wasn't really from the Bible, really. It was more like he was talking about life situations and how niggas are treat you.
Oh, he was. That's what I was trying to figure out. What words was he saying? He was saying the N word.
Look, I'm used to a pastor that will use the word damn and hell. Right. And they probably won't go any further than that. He was using motherfuckers, shit. I can't even remember if he used the B word or not.
Wait a minute.
I wouldn't put it past him.
And this is the church Annette goes to.
Yes.
Oh my God, because I want to see if that's the same pastor guy that she commented under the video and saying something about daddy and stuff. Like, I don't know if that's her father or if it's just the church she going to now.
Somebody brought it to my attention. The church don't look like a church. It look like a warehouse on the inside. But
it sounds like a bunch of bad people that's perping. Like, do you think this could be an organization?
It could be, because another thing that's weird to me, everything is covered up. You know how, like, you can throw, like, sheets and stuff over your, drum set and over your piano and stuff so it don't get dusty? He wasn't even on the pool thing, on the thing talking. He was on the floor, basically where everybody sit at. And everything else was covered up. I can understand the chairs is covered up. That's probably what y'all do throughout the whole thing, throughout the years. The chairs are covered up in the little purple things. But everything else is covered up. It looked like the church was shut down for COVID.
Oh, wow. So this is scary because let me tell you, the guy that we mentioned, I think his name is Kenneth, and he goes by Evangelist. Now you're talking about a pastor. It sounds like, just like I was trying to figure out, how could this happen to ZIYAH? And so they got people in different positions that's supposed to be respected, but they're doing stuff like this. This is what I'm believing. Do you know Frank? I'm sorry, go ahead and say what you was about to say.
I think it's something going on because even I went to the pastor's Facebook page. He's friends with the evangelist, the thick glasses.
Oh, wait a minute.
Friends with him.
What? Oh my, this ain't no real pastor. This the church he go to every Sunday. They meet and doing some other stuff, I believe. That church is a front. It gotta be.
Yup. And then he got a video. You gonna see it. It's a video on there. He did like a daddies and daughter dance for the church. And he got all the little girls dancing. And then you gonna see like all the daddies, if they did daddies, in the background with their phones out, recording. Nobody else is dancing. No fathers out there like, hey, with their little girl or nothing. It's just all the little girls out there dancing, and all the guys is out there like in a circle with their phones out, taking pictures or recording.
Oh no.
It looked weird.
Oh no. This sounds like I seen pictures of Jarvis allegedly taking his daughter to a daughter daddy dance. I wonder, was they going to that church?
I think it was that one. I'm trying to do research and look at the background of the place that they was at. I think so, because I don't think he has the balls enough to go to a school dance. Because don't they burn your information?
I mean, not necessarily, but now that you're saying that, I'm sure it was at that church. And I wonder where they were going. And you just said that, yeah, that's the connection. And I got another question as far as that, the son that's a cop. What's your take on him? Do you know his name?
I don't know his real name, because I know his real name can't be Boo.
Right.
I used to ask him, like, why y'all call him Boo? Like, that's a little weird. Like, wouldn't that get you in trouble when he called and then you answer the phone, he'd be like, hey, Boo. And then when you're mad or me, be like, Boo, Boo. You know, like, oh, that Boo. Okay, it's weird, but they call him Boo. That's all. They always call him Boo. I've never heard another name or nickname for him.
Have you ever seen him?
I've seen him a few times. He basically, you know how some police officers do that football thing, and they get all the kids and stuff to do the football stuff.
Oh, okay.
Lead and stuff. Yeah, so that's how I ended up seeing him. So Marquita's son liked to play football. So he was on a power team or a football team or whatever, and then basically he would come pick him up because he was like a coach or whatever.
So she has a son that worked with kids too as a coach, and he's a cop.
Yep, he's a police officer, and he coached a little football team or whatever.
About how old would you say he is? Is he older or younger than Lady?
He's older than Lady for sure. I want to say he's the first or second son. I want to say the second because I don't think I met the first.
Yeah, the first one allegedly is when she was 11 and he got taken by the state. So,
I never really heard anything about the first one. But, yep, I've seen Boo a few times here and there. Learned that he was a police officer and found out that, you know, he do the football thing. But I don't see him as much. He comes over, and he's gone. Then you got Florentino. I'm just learning about his situation. And tell you the truth, he could have been messing around with Jarvis, because there's been a couple stories I've heard where, you know, I get it sometimes that gay people will mess with a straight person, like, hey, Boo, or something like that, because they might have a crush on them.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. But I've heard little stories where they said, like, he don't like Florentino because he be talking about hey, Boo, or something. I can't remember the exact lines of what he said to him to make him feel uncomfortable. But I got that out of it. But I don't know. They don't act like they don't like each other. I've seen them around each other a couple times.
Yeah, I think they like each other.
They got into it with each other. To me, now that I think about it, it seemed like as if they was a couple.
Really?
They got into it.
Him and Florentino?
I remember. No. All right. So as much as I don't know Jarvis like that, we only went out one time somewhere. It was what was it? I want to say it could have been Valentine's Day or something like that. So, no. I take that back. It was Mother's Day. So I basically was spending time with Marquita for her Mother's Day type of thing, and then it turned into a dinner thing. They wanted to take their mama out to eat. So out of all the stuff that, you know, we go out and hang or go do something, this is the first time Jarvis actually participated.
Mm-hmm.
So we in the car, we in the van, Jarvis is in the front. Annette, she driving. We got the twins in the two seats right there, and then you got me and Florentino in the back. So we on our way to go to the place to eat. And somehow Jarvis and Florentino get into it. But they get into it to where it's like we're driving, and then y'all trying to fight each other. You trying to leave your front seat, and he trying to leave the back seat so they can fight or whatever, argue. I had to literally yank Florentino down and then use my arm as like a seatbelt and tell him, like, y'all need to calm this down. Like, she driving, y'all trying to fight each other. Y'all gonna let her kill everybody in the car.
Who was driving?
Annette.
What? So, wow. It sounds like he was part of the family.
Yeah, he was. And for her to be like, he don't come in the house and stuff like that, I was sitting there looking like, this lady is a damn liar.
Do you think
like
that...
dude,
Go ahead. That's crazy.
He came over whenever they called, or whenever he felt like he probably needed something. He was over there.
So him and Annette had, did they have a weird relationship, or was it normal? Because it seemed like Annette ran up to him quicker than his said baby mama.
To tell you the truth, she seemed like the type that would mess around with him. She got that vibe on her that
Jezebel spirit.
Like, yeah, it's something I can't really pinpoint it, but it's like I wouldn't put it past her if they did something.
Wow.
I really wouldn't.
So you wouldn't put it past Jarvis that he may have been with a man before either, right? Is that what you were saying?
I kind of wouldn't put it past him just because the stories that I'm hearing. Usually when a person seems like they got like sex addiction, they don't really judge. They gonna try whatever.
I think when they have, I think that when they've been tampered with when they young, that they have confusion, especially if it's women and men tampering with them. And then when they get older, they try to fight those urges by over sexualizing themselves, but they really looking for that weenie that they running from. That's my opinion.
Because the lady, somebody pulled it up. What the lady look like now? It's probably what she looks like now. But I can imagine when she was younger. The lady actually looks like the twins' mom, Annette.
Yeah, I seen that image the other just last night.
They kind of save her. They kind of save her in a way, and it made me think like maybe he kind of like women that kind of look like that lady. Yeah.
And the other question, do you know King or Frank?
I never met King or Frank.
You've never seen neither one of them?
No. The only thing I know is that he worked with him up at the shop, but I've never met him or seen him.
It's starting to look like Frank might have some involvement because somebody put him up and said he got a SO background or some weird background too.
Yeah, that's strange. Like that's strange.
And so, yeah, I think it's a connection with that church. If he cussing like that, he is not a real man of God. So what is he really doing?
And then another thing that's strange is when King said he had to look up how to put a water pump on, and in my mind it's like, how long have y'all been doing the fixing on cars? Because the water pump is like kind of one of the simpler things. I'm not gonna say it's just that simple, but he should know how to do that without having to look it up.
Allegedly, it's supposed to be different in that type of vehicle. Because it was...
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, allegedly. That's what he said. Because he started out saying that if some guy was supposed to come and help him fix it. And that's something that I would love to see. If you could, I don't know how I would get it though. I'm trying to figure out the route. Like how far is that AutoZone that they said that they ran into ZIYAH? I'm trying to figure out, is that even possible? Is that AutoZone in the route of her walking from the bus stop?
I gotta get the right AutoZone because at first I could have sworn they was talking about the red and yellow one. Aren't they talking about that one? Or are they talking about the one that was across the street from that hotel?
Oh, you talking about No, I'm thinking they talking about the one across the street from the hotel. That
Okay.
Frank's Auto that they were working at? Yeah.
So from that place, it's okay. I want to say you could walk. You could walk from their house to that shop, and it's a bit of a distance, but it's not that far. As a kid, you wouldn't really think much of it if you used to walk, because it's like maybe 30 minutes of a walk.
Oh, you think? Oh, I know for a fact that they have rode their bikes and stuff up there before, up to the shop. But I was trying to figure out where the auto zone was. But I guess we a little past that part.
Yeah, I had to look that one up because I don't remember seeing the auto zone for real, but it should be one up and down that street.
Another guy that lives over there, that lives in Detroit, he said that they would not have ran across ZIYAH walking in that route if they was going to AutoZone. So he was just saying that King was lying. But shoot,
all of them is lying. I came to the conclusion of you gotta look at who's in the picture. You got King, his sister, and then you got Jarvis's baby mamas.